Am I wrong for announcing my pregnancy during my family's white elephant game? I, female 24, am currently pregnant. I waited to tell everyone, including my boyfriend, male 25, knowing that I would reach the second trimester just in time for Christmas. I thought it was a perfect gift, and I was relatively symptom-free. We, my parents, and my siblings, and their spouses plan to get together Christmas Eve in order to celebrate. Every year, we hold a white elephant gift as a fun event for the evening. The spending minimum is $40, but I figured the reveal of the first grandchild would be a priceless gift. I wrapped and framed my first ultrasound and I hid it until the party. My boyfriend and I usually play as one person instead of two to avoid buying two $40 gifts, so I had planned to grab my own gift and open it for everyone to see. Since only 7 of us were playing, I figured my chances of getting a low number were pretty good, so I could grab the gift first. I even wrapped it ugly on purpose so that no one else would be tempted to go for it. Somehow, I ended up with the worst luck and drew a 5. I started to get a little nervous but figured that even if someone else opened the gift, it would be okay. My brother-in-law Ryan, 32 male, drew a number lower than me and grabbed the present. We are not super close, but I figured once everyone saw what it was, I would just announce it. But the second he lifted the lid, he burst into tears. Oh my god, he thinks it's his wife's! I was so confused. My name was right on the ultrasound and everything, although in small text. I saw my parents' faces twist into joy as they looked at my sister, Beth, 31 female, who was just confused. Once she saw what it was, she turned super red and looked at me and my 2 other sisters. She looked super embarrassed as she told him that it did not belong to her. I stood up, a bit nervous by the environment, and announced that it belonged to me. My parents' expressions completely fell. My brother-in-law asked if we could take a break from the game. I had no idea what was wrong. My boyfriend felt so uncomfortable that we left immediately afterwards without even finishing the game. My boyfriend told me I should have told him in private, and I was an asshole for putting him on the spot. The next day, my mother and sister texted me to tell me I should not have used our family game for this when my sister is struggling to conceive. Oh, you didn't say that part. I had no idea she was going through that. Oh, just kidding, you didn't know. I just wanted to share the news with my family on our favorite holiday. It's been weeks and no one has reached out to me. So, am I the asshole? Aw, this sucks. No, I think you had good intentions. This sucks. I feel so sorry. Wait. You waited your whole first trimester, waited till your second trimester, and you still didn't tell your baby daddy? That's the fucked up part. I don't think the game was the fucked up part. I think you should have given your boyfriend the heads up. Just my opinion, you know. Am I wrong for how I reacted to my wife's pregnancy announcement? My wife, female 26, and I, 30 male, decided to start having kids. We've been trying for over 9 months and nothing happened. We were told to be patient, but I couldn't help but stressing out about a problem that's preventing us from conceiving. The issue is that my wife kept joking about this matter and pranked me twice by lying to me saying she was pregnant. The first was when I was at work and she sent a text telling me she was pregnant. I was so happy I came home and brought stuff with me to celebrate, only to find her laughing in my face saying it was a prank. Second time she told me she was pregnant, she was recording my reaction during and after the prank. Again laughing, telling me it was a prank, but this time she shared the video with her family. I told her I didn't appreciate how she laughs about a serious matter, then having me believe it was true only to ruin my happiness. She stopped for 2 months. Last night we were at my parents' house sitting having dinner when she said she had a gift for me. She had my sister go bring a small teddy bear with a note on it and gave it to me. I was nervous and worried about her pulling some of her pranks on me in front of my family. I read the note that the teddy bear had on it and it said that I was going to be a dad. I looked at my wife and she smiled at me and congratulated me saying she was pregnant. I saw red completely. I got up from my seat and tossed a piece of paper on the table and just snapped, telling her to stop making fun of something so serious and sensitive. I told her I was done with her lack of respect and sympathy for the most important thing that I've been struggling with, and to include my parents in her prank was too low. My wife excused herself to the bathroom. My mom and dad were unaware of what was happening. They literally paused and asked what the hell is wrong with me. My sister said my wife was actually pregnant and just confirmed by tests that she's seen with her own eyes. I felt both happy and devastated because I thought she was pulling the same prank again and I got fed up with it. My wife got mad and argued with me in the car, saying I ruined her joy and made her look awful in front of my family, as well as lashing out on her as my reaction to the happy news. She said she told me in front of my parents to show me she was serious this time. She had her mom call to berate me and said her poor daughter will suffer with my boorish behavior and lack of respect for her. My wife has been giving me the cold shoulder ever since. So, am I the asshole here? This is like, what is that story called? That fairy tale? The dude with he kept saying something to the villagers and the villagers kept coming and the boy who cried wolf. This is literally the boy who cried wolf. Am I wrong for canceling the trip after my fiance decided to bring her 10-year-old son with us? I, 33 male, have been with Natalie, 32 female, for 2 years. We're getting married soon, and she shares custody of her 10-year-old son with her ex-husband. Ever since her ex-husband got sick, Natalie kept bringing her son over more often. Sometimes her mom would take him due to work, etc. We've been having issues because of that, because Natalie has to bring my stepson with us wherever we go. Yeah, that's kind of part of being a step-parent. Like, that's her son. What do you want her to do? Just leave him in the ditches? Like, duh, what do you mean? We started going out less and less. Since it's been a whole month since we've gone out, and since her ex has gotten better, I've arranged for a little trip to the beach for the weekend. It's supposed to be a couple's getaway. She was excited for it and prepared for everything. The night before the trip, she comes up to me and says, "Hey, Tom is sick again, and he asked if I could take Taylor to spend the weekend with us." I was gobsmacked. I asked what she told him, and she said that she agreed. She then proceeded to tell me that she'd like to take Taylor with us to the beach. I got upset and told her not to bother because the trip was officially canceled. You are really throwing a temper tantrum over her having to take her 10-year-old son? This is her son. This is not her brother. It's not her dad. This is her son. This is the person she's in charge of well-being for. Oh my God, you're supposed to be a stepdad. Like, why are you acting like a little kid? Ugh. She looked at me shocked, but I told her she shouldn't act shocked or surprised after she successfully ruined yet another opportunity for us to have quality alone time together. You don't get that as much as you want because she's a mom. Dummy. She went on about how she couldn't believe that I expected her to ditch her son since her mom was busy as well and getting a babysitter wasn't on the table. I just shrugged and I told her it was done and then I walked out. I went with the guys instead and she's been upset, saying I could have just agreed to let my stepson Taylor come with us and we would have had at least some family time together while Tom gets better. She said I was the one who screwed up. So am I the asshole? You're marrying this woman. This is her son. What? Dumbass. Am I wrong for telling my dad that if he chooses to go to my stepbrother's graduation, then he better forget about me? I, 18 female, am an only child, and my parents divorced when I was 8. My dad remarried when I was 12, and for a while, everything was fine. But after a few years of living there with them, I started to notice that my dad preferred my stepbrother. They did more things together, and he started to ditch me to go to his games, his plays, his tournaments, etc. For every 10 things I invited him to, he only attended 1 to 2. His wife always gave excuses. "Oh, my son is younger than you. They are really close. His dad is not involved in his life." And told me that at least I was lucky enough to have a dad with me, and specifically one who was willing to share his love. When I was 13, my mother applied for sole custody and won. Only then did I see my dad being hurt that I was being taken away. I started to spend time with my dad, but only if he picked me up to do it. He still missed most of my things, and I've always resented him and his family for it. Since this is my last year, I had a lot of significant activities. I had my last debate, my last volleyball game, I won best essay in my class, got into best 20 alumni, and finally went to pick my prom dress. Some, if not all of these things he missed because he was working or attending something regarding his family, and I can't have it anymore. My graduation is December 15th, the same as my stepbrother's elementary school, and when I told my dad, he said that he would see if he could make it, which meant he wouldn't, so I came clear. I said that while graduating elementary school is nice, I'm graduating high school and I'm on my way to university, so he can't really compare those things, and if he chooses my stepbrother's graduation, he better forget about me. His wife flipped and told me that I was taking my stepbrother's dad away from a big date and I was being a spoiled brat. I told her that I couldn't be a spoiled brat if I was being ignored the whole time and that I wasn't talking to her. My dad looked shocked, so I said that he could be there for once in his life or he could miss me forever and left. But now that I've cooled off, I started to feel bad. I love my dad to pieces and I just want him to be there for me too, and I surely don't want to hurt my stepbrother. I was wondering if I was being an asshole for acting how I did because he's paying half of my college fund and I gave him an ultimatum. Plus, my dad is not prone to confrontation while my mother and I are. Am I wrong for not inviting my sister and her kids to Disney with my brother and his kids because I know she can't afford it? I haven't taken my kids on a real vacation since pre-pandemic, but now that we are all vaccinated, I want to take them to Disneyland. My brother Jack, whose kids are about the same age as mine, feel the same. Disneyland is expensive. The trip will cost about $8,000 for each family. My brother and I both have great jobs, so the money is not a struggle for us. My sister Jane is always talking about how broke and underpaid she is and complaining about her student loans. I don't know her salary, but she's a social worker, so I know it's not a ton. Well, my brother and I figured she wouldn't be able to afford it based on a couple of weeks ago when we brought up the idea of a vacation at a Labor Day cookout, and she just went on about how she wishes she could afford a family vacation. Well, since she said she couldn't, we just didn't invite her and planned a trip with our wives and our kids. This weekend, people were over and my nephew, Jack's son, brought up how excited he is for Disney, to which Jane asked about and the details came out. And then Jane got all mad for not getting invited. I told her I didn't invite her because she literally said she couldn't afford a vacation. She then said that I was rubbing it confided in that we make more money than her and that we could have covered part of her trip and then had a real family vacation with everyone. I just felt that as we're all adults with our own families, we're past the age that I'd be subsidizing her for anything that's not an emergency. But then yesterday, she sent a really passive-aggressive text about it basically calling us assholes. So, am I? Am I wrong for refusing to be a bridesmaid in my sister's wedding? I, 24 female, have a sister, 28 female, Lexi. Lexi and I used to be really close and she was basically my best friend. However, around 7 or 8 months ago, I found out my boyfriend, Jonah, was cheating on me with her. And now they're getting married in August. Ew, so weird, so disgusting. We hadn't talked since then until she called me the other day asking me if I would be one of her bridesmaids. I told her I didn't want to do that and she was messed up for even asking that. She said that it would mean a lot to her since I'm her only sister. It didn't mean a lot to you when you were sleeping with her boyfriend, like what, the double standard? She also told me that she already bought the dress, then said I would be letting her down and wasting the money she spent on the dress. I said that just because she bought me a dress doesn't mean I have to be in her wedding. Okay, this is already, from reading that little, she's already a manipulative piece of shit. Okay, keep this woman out of your life. You don't need her. Like, move on. She's dead to you. She started crying and telling me how I was being insensitive and holding a grudge against her. Yeah, because you, disgusting. Why would you sleep? Why would you look at your sister's boyfriend like that? Like, that's so weird to me. I tried to tell her that I was sorry, but she didn't listen and hung up. Wait, why would you apologize? The fudge? Why would you apologize? Now, yesterday my parents invited me over for dinner, but what I didn't know is that Lexi had called them and told them what I said. So halfway through dinner, my mom out of nowhere says that I should be Lexi's bridesmaid. I told her I really didn't want to. She then said that Lexi told her what happened and that I shouldn't care about Jonah and just do it for Lexi. I said I was not going to be in a wedding with my cheating ex-boyfriend and watch him marry my sister. My dad got angry and called me selfish and kicked me out of their house. I'm sorry, why is anyone attending this wedding? Why are they okay with this? Like, is this not a problem for her to be doing that? Like, that's so... Like, why are they promoting it or acting like it's okay? Like, just get over it. My parents haven't spoken to me, neither has Lexi. I feel like a bitch now, but I also feel like I deserve to feel angry. I'm just so conflicted on what to do. Am I wrong for saying no? Absolutely not. They're gaslighting you. They're manipulating you. You were done so dirty. You were done so wrong. I'm surprised your parents are even holding this wedding or attending this wedding. If that was me, I would shun that person out completely. Like, get out. Like, you're not part of my family anymore. Like, that's, you don't do that to family or people you care about. Am I wrong for telling my always late friends an earlier time so that we'd actually be on time? So I, 32 female, have been friends with this group of people, 30, 31, and 32 female since high school. I love them all to death, but Jesus Christ, on a cruise ship when we plan something, they are always consecutively late. Every single time, and it drives me nuts. One year, they almost made us miss our flight home, and they always say that they forgot the time or thought they had more and just goofed around. It has got to the point where I will meet them because I refuse to get caught up in the drama. Last year, I left on my own accord to the airport because they were all passed out and would not wake up. They missed checkout and had to pay for an extra day. Then they barely made it to the airport in time for their flights. Apparently, I'm pushy for ensuring we leave at a certain time, considering traffic, possible accidents, or delays, and even looking up shortcuts in case. Throughout the year, sharing a ride with them has almost made me late to work before. Lesson learned, so now I take an extra day off just in case. Our vacations themselves are fun and easygoing. So this vacation was pretty smooth up until the end. We all decided to choose a night where we would plan all the events. Mine was Friday. It was a fairly relaxing day. I scheduled a pedicure for 9:30 a.m. and I told them it was at 8:45. They showed up at 9:15 and were surprised we got in so quickly. I reserved a table for us for lunch at 1 p.m. and I told them it was at 12:30. They arrived at 12:52 with the same reaction. That night, I had reserved us a table at this really nice dining establishment for 7:30 and I told them 6:45. They arrived at 7:10 and it was a great night. Sunday, when we were going home, I said my goodbyes, checked out of the hotel room, and took my separate Uber to the airport for my 2 p.m. flight home. I got home around 8 and turned on my phone to the equivalent to an assault on my group chat. Apparently, they had left late again and one of them missed their flight and they were all arguing about it. I told my roomie what was going on and what I did, and she said that was rude of me to manipulate their time like that. She knows one of the girls and told her what I did, and now all of the girls are mad at me. My Friday scheduling had absolutely nothing to do with one missing their flight. So, am I the asshole? Oh my god. One of my biggest pet peeves are people who are late. And the fact that they want to throw this back at you like it's your fault. Like, why would you tell us a different time? Like, why were we on time for once? Like, get out of here. That's such a very, 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 very bad habit. Not be on time. Like, to miss a flight is like, because of poor time management skills. Like, that's not your problem. You're already home. They can chill out.